What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to Vinny's Corner. I'm your host, Vinny. This is my boy and co-host Cove over here. How's everybody doing?
Good,
Um,
good.
so what's going on, brother? We got a lot to talk about this week. Obviously, you sent over a bunch of stuff, a good guide for things to touch on for tonight for sure. Um, So, what are your thoughts? Just going like from last week to this week, like anything new in sports that like just caught you right like off the top? You know where my mind is because I was just talking to you about it off the thing. What about you?
Yeah, like once you seen, like I was talking to someone earlier about this when I was like, Harbaugh, 18 years of what, 25-year existence of an organization, coach is gone, and then Tomlin steps down. Like it seems like nobody's safe in that way. It's a
Um,
win or go somewhere else kind of mentality.
yeah, 100%, and like it was one of those things where obviously in the case of Mike Tomlin, and so guys, that's what we're talking about. Mike Tomlin stepping down. So in that case specifically, Cole, the thing that was interesting, I was listening to Adam Schefter on the radio this morning when I was driving, and he was talking about how like it was completely like he was in the driver's seat essentially. How if Tomlin wanted to stay, Tomlin could stay. But it was his call ultimately.
I think it's just more or less like if he decided to say one more season, didn't develop anything, didn't go anywhere, and they fired him, he wanted to go out on top. I believe so.
Well, and listen, quite possibly, it seems like they're an organization that doesn't fire people.
No, they make
Or
it. It's more or less.
coaches.
I'll joke about it by saying it. I'll say it's like more like they make it your idea that you quit.
Well, yeah, like a mutual parting of ways, right? Type of thing is one of those things that they always say. Um,
No, but I'm just more or less saying like they say, oh, our organization never fires anybody. They just quit. That just tells me that they just do stuff where the guy just decides to quit on his own. So they can have that stigma that they don't fire anybody. Everybody's see for Pittsburgh, it's like everybody's family, and you look at that way with all the organizations in Pittsburgh. The Penguins, you look at the Penguins, the Steelers, and stuff like that. Like those guys, they run their organization the same way. It's family to them. It's just how Pittsburgh runs their sports teams. The Pirates the same way. They're almost dead last, but they're like family to them. Like so they keep the guys they like. They don't really like to shuffle around and have that super team all the time. It's just they get who they get and they play with who they got. And if you notice it in any Pittsburgh sport, a lot of the guys like McCutcheon, Big Ben, stuff like that, like they had long careers staying in that one organization, and that says a lot for an organization for having that many athletes who stay that long.
um, yeah, no, listen, I agree. And like I think one of the things that was kind of interesting, or just the way that I looked at it, just immediately, I was just like, whoa, what, like, like not like what's next for like to me. Tomlin goes and takes a break. Like he's not going to coach next year, either way. I would be surprised if he chose to ever coach again in the NFL, just because like he's a Steeler. I mean, he's been a
Yeah,
Steeler for 19 seasons. So he just might
I
not come back
mean,
at all. But the
now
like
on a joking side though, what if Tomlin says he doesn't want to be there, but he wants to coach again? Tomlin goes over to the Ravens, and then Harbaugh goes over to the Steelers. What if they actually pulled that off?
well, yeah, but that's not going to
And that
happen.
was not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Um, but so this is really, huh? Hold on, give me 1 second. My wife just asked me for something. Let me see. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So now here's what's interesting though. Okay. And it's funny. So you brought up the joking point. What if Tomlin and Harbaugh were to switch sides, right? One goes to the Ravens, one goes to the Steelers. Now I'm going to use this to make an actual point. Because I think this is what caught me about it. Because in my mind, I was like, oh, well, Tomlin's going to just go take a year and chill. He'll probably broadcast next season for like CBS or something and chill out. Like, relax, get off the field. Good for him. I think it's a great idea. But what I was really thinking is, what are the Steelers going to do? They don't have a coach or a quarterback because they only had Rodgers temporary, and Rodgers was only there partially, as he said himself after the last game. It was about his relationship with Tomlin. So they don't have a quarterback or a head coach now. So how could Harbaugh go there when they don't have a like he would be starting from scratch if he went there? He'd have an old defense that's overpaid, right? He'd have a bunch of 30-plus defenders that are all overpaid, and he'd have no quarterback. so we know that
this is kind of like, okay, but I'll go with this. It's like bringing Andy Reid from Philly over to KC. Maybe they need something like that where it's the different dynamics, and he would change the whole dynamics.
Somebody's going to change the whole dynamic, but I don't think that.
Well, look at this one. Look at Jim Harbaugh going over to LA versus when they were San Diego, the coaches they had.
This is different. Okay. John Harbaugh is a Super Bowl champion coach. He has coached somebody to be a multiple MVP. He is proven at the highest level of the NFL. And literally, as soon as he got fired, because he did get fired, unlike Tomlin stepping down, as soon as he got fired, the report came out last week that 7 teams, and there were only 6 head coach job or openings at the time, and 7 teams, meaning that a team with an active coach had already reached out to him immediately, like, we want you, right? Yeah. So John's kind of like that dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, as a fan, we all want him.
He's not that dude. But what I was talking about is when his brother went into LA, San Diego was like here, and now San Diego is a little bit better because they brought in a different perspective. That's what I was going with. Bringing in someone that you wouldn't think they could get. Or
my point is, and I understand what you're saying, my point is John Harbaugh is a commodity. And as a commodity, he is not going to go where he has 0 quarterback. He's going to go to the best situation possible football-wise. That's what I would think.
Oh, I would think that too, but maybe they give him a chance to say, "Look, you get to pick we'll get you a quarterback, but you get to pick him."
As a Giants fan, I'm very hopeful that today's meeting leads to him becoming the Giants coach.
You want John over in the Giants territory.
Well, John just interviewed with the Giants today.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know. But you, as a Giants fan, want him.
But
you would love that job.
Of course, I would love a Super Bowl champion coach to come right the ship at my organization. Absolutely, I would like that. He has been far from perfect in recent years himself, with or without Lamar. But I know that he's a great coach, and I think that I think that if nothing else, he would get the best out of Jackson Dart, and we would need that. And so I would love him as a Giants coach. But again, Miami has reached out to him. Atlanta has reached out. I mean, every teams we don't even know about because they have active head coaches have reached out to this guy already, right? So, kind of it's.
I mean, it's to speak on that. It's like Mike McCarthy interviewing for Cleveland. I'm like, Cleveland, get somebody better. I know I get it. He got his chance to interview for Cleveland, but I don't think Cleveland and Mike McCarthy are gonna. No.
Here's the thing that's interesting. Okay, now and this is really interesting, and I know that I'm pretty sure in one of our chats you actually might have sent a graphic comparing Mike McCarthy and John Harbaugh. I might be wrong, but I just saw this graphic.
Yeah.
Here's the point of the graphic. Their records are like identical. Their wins,
Okay.
losses, Super Bowl championship. It's like they have like almost identical records. They're like a win apart from each other, right?
Yeah.
But when Mike McCarthy got fired, he was not a super hot commodity. When John Harbaugh got fired, everyone who
Yeah.
needed a coach and people we didn't know needed a coach started reaching out to him immediately.
Mhm.
You know, so kind of it's
Sorry,
weird.
that's not what I said McCarthy, but I meant Mike McDaniels. That's
Oh,
what I meant.
well, Mike
Cleveland
McDaniel's
going
an
after Mike
awful coach.
McDaniels. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Cleveland and Mike McDaniels, that's not going to fix your situation, Cleveland. That
Well,
is
okay.
not.
I I I think I understand the thought process there. Now, I don't know that it's a good one, but they have a
No, yeah,
very
it's
good
also.
defense. Just hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
that this is what I think they are thinking. We have a really good defense, right? We can
yes.
bring this guy in and he can kind of call plays, right? Obviously, as head coach. And he's a great offensive mind. I think he should be an offensive coordinator. I don't think he should be a head coach. I think he's a shitty head coach. But
Yes.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was just shitty with Tua.
But now I brought this up to Travis the other day. I was like, what? This is more of a wild take. But I was like, say he takes a year off, John, and whatnot, and then say Jim is in LA, they give him one more chance. He doesn't, you know, what LA wants. I said, and he wants to leave LA. I'm like, I know Jim and John would never go head coach, assistant coach, but what about them going together to be an defensive coordinator somewhere?
No.
Like I
These
said,
they, they,
wild take. Because I could
it
never see them being head coach competing for head coach together, but it'd be an offensive defensive coordinator kind of idea.
no, they're very competitive people, those two guys. I
Yeah.
don't see them being on the same side because then they couldn't compete against each other.
Yeah.
And I think like as
Well,
brothers, I think
that's
they like to compete.
I know, but that's why I said offense and defense. You could compete that way. Hey, our team is like 14-1 because my defense. No, it's because of our offense. There could be a competition with that.
Yeah, but not really. Like they want to really go head to head. Like I think, like you know what I mean. Like as coaches, I
Yeah.
think that's what you know. I get the
Like I said,
idea,
it's
but
a wild take to say the Harbaughs would ever coach on the same organization.
it it doesn't really make sense. Is what it is.
Yeah.
They're both people that like they're considered two of the best head coaches in the sport.
Yeah.
That's so like to get them on one team, like something would have to go miserably wrong for one of them. Like at the
Yeah.
highest at the highest level, somebody would have to fuck
Well,
up.
that's why you would say like at this moment because John is out, and if Jim gets out, then that would be your what happens when they're both out. Kind of wild scenario.
Well, Jim didn't get fired, right? So he's still a
Yeah.
quarter. You know what's actually interesting. And I don't know, maybe I'm bugging, but it almost doesn't feel like it still doesn't feel like all of the coaches have been fired or like all
No.
that movement is done.
No. We're still looking at this weekend's battles, right? I mean, you're not out of who is remaining. There's not going to be a lot. I mean, you look at okay, we'll go down with Bills and Broncos. No matter who wins or losses, they're not going to change. Or they're not going to change the head coach. Texans got where they've
Wait, whoa,
gotten.
whoa, whoa,
That
whoa,
I
whoa, whoa.
see.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Versus Bills and Texans.
I
That's what
know
you just
Bills
said?
and no, Bills
Bills
and
and Broncos.
Broncos. They're not going to
So
change.
so Sean Payton and Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
And
I
you
don't
don't think
see if they lose. I don't think if they lose, they're going to lose their job at this time.
I don't know,
Texans,
man.
Texans, Patriots. I don't think this is just my opinion. Texans, Patriots. No, I don't think so. Seahawks. They've seen an improvement year. Bears improvement year. Rams. Yeah, same thing. Niners, maybe. like Niners being the only team that I could ever see that maybe might change a head coach. I don't know what's remaining.
Meanwhile, Shanahan's putting on a master class. Like this is the finest example of great coaching that we've seen in a long time. His team is decimated by injuries, and they just keep winning. Like if there's no coaching involved in that, I don't know what is. But you're right.
Yeah.
If they lose this weekend, like he could be on the outs. You're right. You're absolutely right. No,
but with the rest of the guys, but with the rest of who's left into the playoffs, yeah, I don't see any of them really, unless, like you said, active team is saying, "Hey, we're looking at you, John." Well, maybe an active team that's right now is if they lose and don't get the Super Bowl, that's where they're going after. They could be going after John.
Well, and like this was my thought. What if it was like what if the Bills, okay, so I'm thinking about the Bills specifically because they just won a playoff game. They just won a road playoff game too. But like in the last few years, like they don't have like they're not great. They're good in the playoffs.
Yeah. With John being available, the Bills would look at that if they lose it to the Broncos and don't make it because you don't have Patrick Mahomes, you don't have Lamar Jackson. Yeah, you don't have anybody. Yeah, so if the Bills can't get to the Super Bowl with all of his guys taken out, then yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, right? Because like this is the narrative that's going on, right? And we hear this on CBS Sports and ESPN and on the radio and Sirius XM. Everywhere you look, if you're on social media, that's the narrative that's going on, right? And like I get it. But like now Lamar's not there. Mahomes not there, etc. Burrow's not there. Like the Texans defense right now looks to be one of the greatest defenses to ever play in football. Like people are waiting for them. Like if they win the Super Bowl, then they'll be put with the Steel Curtain and Doomsday and the Legion of Boom and these then people will talk about them with these ridiculous defenses because that's the way they play, right? They won the game last week without offense. The offense tried to lose the game. CJ Stroud tried his best to lose. He gave up the ball five times or something crazy. He gave up the goose. But the defense literally scored more points on defense than Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers offense could score. The defense literally won the game by themselves. Right? Like that's how good that. So I understand everyone saying these other quarterbacks are not there, but right? And you're a Broncos fan. What about that Broncos defense? You know what? Maybe these quarterbacks are not there, but there are some young studs in there right now that are quarterbacks, and there are two of the meanest defenses that we've seen in a little minute. That's all I'm saying. I don't know that the AFC path got any easier. Trying to beat that Texans team is going to be hell for anybody.
Yeah. That's why I have the early prediction of is Broncos versus Texans, and it's going to be Niners versus Bears next week.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I would like that. I would like to see, I'll be honest, what I would really like to see is the Bears and the Texans in the Super Bowl. I would enjoy that Super Bowl. I just want to see the Texans play.
I'd say Bears Bills, but I would love to see that because that would give you the 90s curse era. Because you don't got Washington, you don't got New York, you don't got certain teams that they played.
You're not going to get a repeat. East? The NFC East. That's what you mean. The NFC East didn't let the Bills get any championships.
Yeah.
I'm such a Bills hater, but no, but really, I I've always been into defense. Like I was a defensive tackle growing up. I like that side of the ball better. That's just me. And so I really enjoy seeing what the Texans have been doing. You know. So yo, we haven't like I don't know where these questions go at all, but I'm gonna pull up. Oh, look at this. My daughter just came running out. Hey girl, look, say hi to my daughter. Say hi. You wanna say hi? Hey girl. Hey girl. Say hi.
Say hi. Goodbye.
All right. I'll see you later, girlfriend. That was my beautiful little girl. What were we just talking about?
Some of these questions really do go into what we were talking about. Like that's why I made them this way, because we were talking about we were just talking about defenses and stuff like that.
Well, no, and so
like,
I want to
one of the questions I'll skip. There's only 4, but I'll skip to one right now. Are elite quarterbacks being exposed more than ever by playoff defenses?
Yes and no. I mean, this defense, I think, as we've seen all season, like the run that this team has gone on, they just won like 10 in a row or something to close out the season, and now to start the playoffs, 11 maybe. This defense exploits weaknesses. They do. They look for ways to get the ball, right? They get turnovers and they score on turnovers. So yeah, I think to answer that question, we saw it. They certainly exploited the washed version of Aaron Rodgers last week. No, there's no question about that. That's.
I mean, I joke about it because every week in the last, as long as you know me, I always come to these questions. But notice the questions. The second one is, has coaching.
So I think this is another good, this season right now. I think we're getting a good view of that, right? Because a lot of the stars, people getting hurt, just things not playing out the way we would expect. And so now when you bring up coaching, right, what I touched on before, Kyle Shanahan, right?
Yeah.
Many are calling this his best coaching job yet, right? His team has been decimated by injuries. But they just continue to win, right? How do they do that? With heart and what did you just take a bong hit?
No.
Yeah.
I got a big old bong down here. You gotta hear the water first. You gotta hear the water if it's gonna be a bong hit.
Bro, that just made me laugh a little bit. That just made me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that for me, at least, I don't know. I think this playoff has been like last weekend. This playoff has really delivered so far, right? I think that's probably the easiest thing to say. Like the Rams went life and death with the Panthers, 34-31.
Yes.
The Bears coming back to beat the Packers. That game, that was awesome. That Jaguars-Bills game was another ridiculous. Like the only game that was just trash was the Chargers and the Patriots. So now I say all of that to ask you this. Is it time to have that Justin Herbert conversation? You were just talking about Jim Harbaugh. WTF was that 3-point performance by the Los Angeles Chargers last weekend?
It was. But that's what I mean. Like, me and Travis have talked about it because I was talking about Herbert last year. And Herbert was like, okay, we got Jim coming in, so it's gonna change him. But Jim's, I don't know, it's just something about the way he's not like John. John can develop, like you said, caliber quarterbacks, and Jim is just more I find him, he's more defensive than anything, defensive brain. So he was going in there to change their defense, but he wasn't really pulling a lot on to Justin, and Justin's been doing it all himself, and I don't think he's got a lot of guidance. for all the mistakes he's been making.
That's fair. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure, but it sounds like, right, to me, what that sounded like, right? And I'm glad you just did that live, so now I can touch on this. This is what people have been doing with this Herbert since day one, right? Well, maybe it's this coach, or maybe it's this, or maybe it's that, right? There's so many reasons. Like, maybe like everyone talks about how talented he is. Like, if you were in a lab, you would build a quarterback. It would be Justin Herbert, and they have all this like nonsense, right? But why can't he lead a team to playoff wins? Like,
now I'll just bring it up. It's it's kind of like the Peyton Manning. I'm not even comparing him to Peyton Manning. I'm just saying football brain Justin Herbert. I think that's why this kid's IQ is off the charts when it comes to football. But performing, that's where no, I'm not saying he's off the charts. I'm just saying when I've read things about him, they're saying like where his level of his IQ was really high, so they had high expectations of Justin Herbert.
Well, so like
because of how smart he was.
I get it. Like, he looks like he should be the ultimate quarterback and everything else, and he's got a really great arm, and he's got all this talent in the world, but he's not winning.
It's like
not when it counts.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess here's my question. Here's really what the question is. Is this the year that we stop allowing Justin Herbert to have excuses? What is it like? It must be like negative 50 degrees there, huh? Because you usually go outside to do all this stuff. So it must be real cold where you are.
Come on. There you go. You back?
I see you making faces.
Yeah, I talked to the layer. It's Wi-Fi. Just hiccups once in a while.
Well, because you're in like the middle of, so for those that don't know this funny joke that I always tell, but it's kind of true. Cove is in like the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, which is far, very far, very far. Like, he's past Eastern time zone. How, like, he's past Eastern Standard Time. What is that? Like, hello? What, are we serious?
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, we have Atlantic Standard Time, but we have Newfoundland time too, which is 30 minutes before us. So we're not.
So here's the question. Like, this is the thing, right? Because and you were just a perfect example, because you kind of threw out the whole coaching thing, right? Could it be because of coaching? Is it that Harbaugh's not that good at coaching at the NFL level, right? At what point do we stop giving Herbert the benefit of the doubt? Like, is it this season? Is it going to be next season? Or does he just always get a pass?
Well, I'll give you an example. Jim Harbaugh, who's the last two quarterbacks he's had the coach?
What?
Who's the last two quarterbacks that Jim Harbaugh had the coach?
Well, I mean, as of late, Justin Herbert and JJ McCarthy.
And look at how they're performing.
Yeah. Oh my God. I like how you just did that. Okay. I see that. That's the yeah. Okay. So, all right.
And what was Michigan known for? Their defense. What's the Chargers known for? Their defense. He's a defensive-minded brain, but he's not focusing on his quarterbacks because he's focusing on that strong arm that can get that long bomb when he needs it.
But okay, hold on. Here's my question, right? So now, I guess that could be right, but okay, wasn't Jim Harbaugh a quarterback himself?
Yeah, was he a good one?
I don't know. You're making me re-question history right now. I'm like going. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I really
Who
don't.
who is Jim Harbaugh's predecessor?
No,
Like who
what did he
replaced
play?
him?
I don't know what he played. Later, he became a success. What did he play? What position? What position did the Harbaughs play? So he played quarterback for the Chicago Bears
Yeah.
from 1987 to 1993.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. Okay, like I should remember him playing football, but I don't.
Yeah,
Like
he played
I
for the
don't
Bears
remember.
in the '90s. He wasn't that great of a quarterback.
No, he definitely he wasn't. He wasn't. I don't even. Bro, I barely remember him playing football, and like I was actually into football. He was the Colts quarterback from 94 to 97.
Yeah.
What year did Peyton become the Colts quarterback?
97, 98.
98. Is that it? 98?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes there it is, 1998. So he was a bridge quarterback for them.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I'm not against this argument. I just had to ask. I had to ask the question because I was like, wait, maybe I'm not sure what's going on here. So I just wanted to that's all. I just wanted to clarify. I needed some clarity there. That's all.
I'll go old school on you. I know more about Vinny Testaverde than I know about Jim Harbaugh as a quarterback.
Me too.
Yeah,
I think everybody does.
I know, but it's Vinny Testaverde though. It's like we should know more of another quarterback other than Vinny Testaverde. But I don't know if it was just because Testaverde was just so bad that we just remember him.
Vinny Testaverde was all right.
I'd say he was all right. He was the best for the Jets, yes, but
how can you can't hate on Vinny Testaverde? Like, come
oh
on,
no,
bro.
I would totally if I could. Eventually I'm getting some jerseys in here. I'm definitely getting a Vinny Testaverde up on the wall.
The Tampa Bay Bucks Testaverde.
No, the Jets Testaverde, not the Bucks Testaverde.
Yo, okay, so all right. Predictions for this weekend. What do you think about these games that are let's just run through the remaining games for the divisional round.
Yeah.
Bills
Well,
and
I've
Broncos.
already-
So you're a Broncos fan, so
Yeah.
right? It would be
Well,
weird if you picked against your own team in the playoffs.
Unless I got a weird theory, if I pick against them, they'll win. You know.
Listen, don't bring that baseball stuff over here, all right?
Oh, that
'Cause I
New
make
York
believe that
Yankee way of thinking. Yeah.
when the Giants, the 2007 season, the 2008 Super Bowl, at the beginning of that playoff, I was having like a panic attack, right? I was like 21, 22 years old. I was having a panic attack. So the point is, I laid on my back and I watched the game upside down on the TV, like looking at the TV upside down on in my boys' den. So for the rest of the playoffs, after we won that first wild card game, I had to go back to my boy's house, lay on my back.
Oh my God!
The game upside down. But we won the Super Bowl. I was like, I can't believe it worked. In my mind, it was completely me.
Oh, I know, but you're still all on the same brain that Peyton and Eli are equals.
Well, I'm actually of it. I actually think Eli's better, but
yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. There's the statement right there. Eli's better than Peyton. No. Statistically, not even close.
I'm not talking about that statistic nonsense. All right.
Brady, who is the all-time GOAT, had to spend like 3 more years to beat all of Peyton's records.
Okay, good for him. I mean, he could have not beat his records and just been like, I got 7 rings. Super Bowl rings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like he would have still been the GOAT.
Because even if Peyton won them all, he'd be 4-0. But that's where I think a lot of people thought Peyton was going to be. It was like he would have been like a 4-0 quarterback, like Montana. I think that was the idea of Manning, but his playoff history was just so shoddy. I could never see him doing a 4-0.
It happens.
He
Anyway,
did it 2-2, but yeah.
so you took the Broncos.
Yeah.
Bo Nix for the win.
Mhm.
I'm right with you. I think that the Bills are going to lose this week too, and I'm here for it. I think that this guy, Josh Allen, is going to have to put on his cape again. I
Mhm.
just don't know that he is going to be able to get through a defense that tough. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
And I've been saying that about the Broncos quickly. It was just like because I have one of my roommates, he's a hardcore KC fan. And he was like, "Oh, the Broncos all season." I'm like, because they're winning like 14-10. I go, it's because their defense. It's what it is. They don't need a lot of offense. Their defense can shut it down.
Well, so like, okay, what's this guy's name? That we have mutual friend online, Tip Major.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. He asked the question earlier. How many points with the defense that the Houston Texans have right now?
Mm.
How many points does that offense need to score this weekend to win?
Probably see, you're going against the Patriots, right? I think Drake May, even against a good defense, could still give you 14 points. So to answer it, for the offense to outbeat the defense, 17 points.
Like, imagine that. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Like, what?
But that's
You
because they
are
have confidence. I do like Drake May. And I mean, like, if Drake May does get through, but I think the Texans defense will shut him down.
I agree
They
with you.
embarrassed the Steelers. So I got the Texans and Broncos. It's just, but if Drake May gets through, I mean, we're not going to get Drake May versus Matt Stafford in the MVP year. Like, I don't think that's likely.
I like Drake May. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think that the Patriots are only going up from here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Even if they lose out, even this week or next week or Super Bowl, the Patriots are here to compete again.
Yeah, 100%. They've got the quarterback, they've got the coach, and the team is getting better and better and better. So they're good to go. That being said, my answer to that question is right around what you're saying. But yeah, I think that they can safely score 20 points and win that football game. Which is pretty, that's a pretty awesome thing. But, again, it begs the question, if you saw the performance that CJ Stroud had last weekend, it was god awful. Can that offense score more than 20 points against the Patriots? That's a good question. So I think that's going to be a really good game of football. That's the game I'm probably most hyped to see this weekend. Well, you know what? Maybe not. I don't know. This is a really good play. Really good playoff going here.
As we're going over the NFC, the game I'm actually, regardless of Broncos versus Bills, like I'm expecting that game to be good. But the game I will be watching because it's it's on a different day. So the Bills and Broncos one day, the Bears and the Rams the next day. So I'm gonna watch that game because if the Bears shut down Stafford, like that's gonna be interesting.
The Bears and the Rams game. Well, so I'm gonna say this out loud. I never thought I would say this in my life. I was only 2 years old. So like when the Bears won the Super Bowl, I was 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So I don't know anything about that. You know what I mean? The first time the Giants won the Super Bowl, I was only 3. I don't really know anything about that. Let me call it what it is. But the point is, I never thought in my life I would be saying I get excited to watch Chicago Bears football. I do.
What about
right now?
What about 05? 05 when they went. No, it was an 06. Sorry, it was 06.
And with the Urlacher years, I'm not. It's just not. I was never excited by the Bears. The first time in my life the Bears have excited me as a team is now.
Well, yeah.
It's because of Ben Jones.
But it excited me because I actually thought it was going to be the Patriots, right? I really thought it was going to be Patriots because up until that point, Manning really didn't break through yet in playoffs, right? So, as a Colts fan, as a Manning fan, I didn't think so. But once we got to the Super Bowl and going to play the Bears, I was like, okay. I was fear of the Bears for the Super Bowl, but then I was like, oh, it's Manning. He's got them. Like I instantly lost it. So they weren't like deep in my brain in '05. I mean, even in 2010, I believe, when they almost put out the Packers, like, and that was the year the Packers won in 2011. Like we had 2 good years of them since our childhood.
I'm not saying that they've never been good.
Yeah.
I'm saying I've never been excited by them until now.
Oh no. Well, I was just saying that
Yeah.
06 and 11 would be years that you possibly could have because they were really good. Like they were a decent team.
I understand that. I understand. I'm just saying, for me, they were never that, they were never exciting. But now I'm like genuinely excited to watch that team play football. I like their brand of football. I think they play tough football. I like running football. And they have a good defense. So like they're like 90s football. Early 2000s football. Like that's how I like I don't know. I like watching them play. I don't like
because the other night, the other game that's right after the Bills game is the 49ers Seahawks game. And that one, I don't really know. That is like I might as well pull out a goddamn friggin' coin and flip it because I really don't know which way this is gonna go.
It's actually crazy that it's the divisional round and it actually is 2 division rivals from the NFC West that are playing each other. I want to say that it's going to be the Seahawks. I think they are the better team. Obviously, they're the healthier team, and they've just played such good football all year. But
this is where the Niners in their history have always been amazing is in the playoffs. They figure it out for the playoffs.
I mean, this, I mean, I don't, I know you love history. I'm not worried about the history, but this team specifically has done nothing but figure it out all year.
Yeah.
So, there's no way that I could just be like, oh, like I'm like, I picked the Seahawks. You'll remember the beginning of the season, I picked the Seahawks to win the NFC West. That was my team in the NFC this whole season. I thought they were going to do well. They've done nothing but that. But I would not be able to just comfortably be like I wouldn't just go place a bet and be like, oh, the Seahawks are going to win. Because I'm not confident. Like there's no way you bet against the 49ers right now and just assume that they can't beat anybody. Like,
and you said, I love my history, right? How far did Sam Darnold get last year with his 13-4 Vikings?
And so what does that have to do with the Seahawks? That was literally a different organization.
No, because it's been run. It's been run by Darnold, though.
So now he doesn't get credit for winning 14 games this season. He just won 14 games with 2 different teams back-to-back seasons.
Okay, yeah, okay, so he's got 14 records. But what I'm saying, what happened last year when Darnold got into the playoffs?
He lost in the playoffs. It happens.
Yeah, but what round?
Getting playoff experience.
Yeah, but what round did he go out?
Okay, the first. He only just started. Bro, he only just started playing playoff football last season.
Yeah,
he didn't play that well.
No, that's what I'm saying. He had his bye, and now he's going into his first round. Would be his first round again, and I just think something about it.
So what did he do after he lost his last playoff game? He went out and won 14 games again this season.
Yes,
I have no reason to just bet against the guy because he lost a playoff game. Josh Allen's lost playoff games. Do you just bet against him because of that?
No. Okay.
Like he lost one playoff game. Like come on, bro. Give Darnold a break. The guy's won 28 fucking football games in the last 2 years.
And
Like,
can't win a
give him a
playoff
break.
game. And can't win a playoff game.
Bro, he's only played in one in his career. He's only started.
Okay. But still, this is Dak Prescott all over again. He does well in the regular season, gets in the playoffs, chokes. Peyton gets in the does well in the
That
regular
has
season
yet to
and
be
chokes.
seen. Let me see him play poorly this weekend, and I'll agree with you. Right
Okay.
now, your take has no weight.
I know,
Get
but
out of here.
that's my opinion. I think the 49ers they get by Seahawks, they figure it out. Not Darnold goes out again, and it's just history. It repeats
I'll be
itself.
right back. I'm listening now. I just needed another can of seltzer.
Mhm.
Yo, okay, so you got the Broncos, you got the 40, you're going with the 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you taking the Patriots or
Texans.
Texans? Okay. Okay. And now
So
Bears and the
and
Rams.
Bears. The Bears.
Okay. I'm right with you. Texans, Bears, but I got Seahawks. I gotta stay with my Seahawks.
Yeah.
I can't quit on them now, right? I'm excited for this. I am. I haven't been excited for the NFL season like at all this year.
Mhm.
So it's pretty cool that I'm excited about it again, which is great. I'm pretty happy about all that. Oh, man.
So I mean, we'll see. It's I don't know if this weekend's gonna be as good as last weekend's football, but I mean, I'm only really excited about the Bills, Broncos, Rams, Bears game. Texans, Patriots. You know, if either team wins, I'm good with it. If 49ers, Seahawks, whoever wins it, I'm happy with it. I think the 49ers, but like I said, and that in those ones, it's like that's where I see it. But also with the Bills and Broncos, if the Bills get through, I want to see them win it. If the Bills get through, I want to see them win it all. But if they don't get through, then yeah, it's just like
How many points does the Texans defense score this weekend?
Mhm.
I'm asking.
Texas defense. I'll go 14.
You know, I really wouldn't be surprised. That's how good this defense is.
Mhm.
Like I was telling my wife this, I was like, I'm a Giants fan. So I
Yeah.
remember like the great Ray Lewis Ravens defense of 2000.
Yeah.
Like I remember that because like I had to watch them punish my favorite team in the Super Bowl. And that's what they did. They punished us.
Yeah, but you guys also had Kerry Collins.
Bro. The Kerry Collins era was the worst.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was telling somebody that. I'm like, yeah, when I was 16, when I was 17, you know who the quarterback was? Kerry Collins. Like, what? But they were a good team, though. Overall, they were a good team.
I think it was pretty weak though for in the NFC at that time. To be fair, in that way, I like early '90s NFC was really like a powerhouse, and the AFC start taking it over. Especially when you had the Broncos take it back to back, and they beat up the NFC. Then
Still here.
yeah. So yeah, you just look at the champions between like '95 and 2005. You just see where the AFC really dominated, right? I think like the last was what Dallas '95. It would be the last for us for the NFC side, and then the AFC just took off.
When Dallas was like a dynasty.
Yeah. Because you had San Francisco, then Dallas take it, then it was Broncos. It just went after that, and then Patriots took over, right? So like AFC took over in the early 2000s when it was Kerry Collins era.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it was AFC dominated.
What the fuck? Oh man. My bad.
Mhm. But that's what I mean. From that era, yeah, it was all AFC dominated. So I mean, so that's why you were joking earlier about the Bills. The Bills walked in when it was NFC dominated. So if the Bills walked in and it was AFC dominant, then yeah, then the Bills would have had a way different future because Jim Kelly deserved a ring, at least one.
Bro, that
I
was just
mean,
okay. So the Giants, the Redskins, the
Cowboys.
Cowboys, like the NFC East just
Who was
abused.
the who was the fourth team that beat them? Was it Cowboys twice or
Cowboy, wait, 49ers?
did the 49ers take one?
Yeah,
The Niners took 94, but who took 93?
94.
Niners took 94, but who took 93?
He went 91, 92, 93,
92, 93.
94, right?
Yeah. No. 90, 91, 92, 93.
Um,
Giants, was it Giants were 90 and then the Redskins were like 91 or something like that, weren't they?
91 through 94. Giants,
Wasn't that?
Redskins, Dallas, and Dallas.
Oh, so it was Dallas twice. Yeah, okay.
93, 94, 95 is Dallas's 3 championships, right? That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Those were Jimmy Johnson's too.
Yeah. So that's what stopped the Bills was the NFC. Like so because NFC was strong because the Niners took a championship in there too, right? So like when the Bills were good, the NFC was nasty. Now if the NFC is better, the Bills have a better chance because if we were and we have been dominated in the AFC era because KC took majority of the championships, right? In the last few years. So like it is an AFC dominant, but now it's 50-50 now. It's not fully AFC, because the KC has only won 3, so and the other 3 went to NFC guys, right? So it's just like
Listen,
so it's really not it's up in the middle.
it's a very hard road. Like they do not have an easy like. Okay, let's just say that they played. Let's say that they play the Broncos first, right? And then next week or in 2 weeks they have to play. They have to play the Texans. Like it is
Yeah.
not an easy path for the Bills to get to the Super
No.
Bowl. It's
And
extremely
that's a
difficult.
bit that and then that puts and then okay, let's go here. They beat Broncos, they play the Texans, and then they get the Bears in the world in the say in the Super Bowl.
Dude, it doesn't matter what team. The NFC is like the teams that are left in the NFC are good football teams.
Yeah. But what I'm saying with the Bills, though, they went through the Broncos defense, then they had to go through the Texans defense, then they had to go through the Bears defense. You're like, oh fuck, they're gonna be beat to piss out of by the Super Bowl.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think the Bills are getting to the Super Bowl.
No. I'm saying if they did and they had that
Yeah.
path.
Like I'm
You
just,
say
I'm just gonna be honest.
Broncos, Texans, Bears. See if they ran in that spectrum of getting there. That's 3 nasty defenses that they'd have to get through. And if the Bills somehow got through it, then yeah, people would say something. But there's no way. If that was your path, if that was the Bills' path right now, and I'll say it right now, just say if the Bills win, whatever, fine. But if the Bills beat the Broncos, beat the Texans, and then they beat the Bears, then yeah, I'll say something good about the Bills. But they would have to really do that. But and I'm not saying anything good, Drake May. Like if they beat if they have to play the Patriots and they beat Drake May, that'd be different because if he beats Drake May, then I think he could beat anybody in the NFC. But if he gets the Texans, they're just gonna get beat the piss out of, and they're just gonna be weak for the NFC. That's where I'm going with it. If the Bills were able to get through, and I'm only saying Bills because of this is Josh Allen's year to show something up because he has the best possible way of getting into the Super Bowl
I would
because he's
love to
only
see
because he's
the
going
Broncos.
against Bo Nix. He's going against Bo Nix. Then he's going against C.J. Stroud. I mean, you look at his life in the NFL. He's beaten better, somewhat better quarterbacks than who he's playing against now. So this is Josh Allen's chance to show up. Same thing's Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, like the the way I look at him. If he gets to the Super Bowl, who he beats could define who he is as a quarterback. It's just there's certain quarterbacks I'm looking on how they meet up with who, and that's how I define it in that way. That's why everybody shits on not everybody shits on Pat Mahomes, but it's because of who he's beat in the playoffs, his record against the playoffs. That matters.
Okay.
Like for a caliber player. Yeah, he's 3-2 in the Super Bowl, but still, before the championships, Pat Mahomes is one of the best in the AFC playoffs right now in the last 7 years because he's beaten everybody almost.
Well, he gets the 1 seed every year, and so he gets a bye, luckily, which is good.
Yeah.
Luckily. Now, let me ask you, I know, so, it's getting a little late. It's already 7:00 over here. I know, so I just wanted to get, because we got I just want to talk about hockey for a couple of minutes here, because we got some stuff coming up, I guess, here in the next week or two. So
yeah,
we're gonna have a couple of special guests coming on the show next week, because we have the NHL. It's the midseason All-Star break coming up here in February, and what that is going to lead to is Olympic hockey. So we're gonna do a nice little preview and just kind of chat it up with a couple of guys that are big on hockey. You've seen them on the show before, my man Boston Cashews and Vegas Hockey Freak. So should be cool. It'd be a good time for sure. Now
I'm asking this one: do you know is ROC not compete? They not compete because they haven't got a team?
I don't.
They played the last one. The ROC they played in the last one or the last two, I think. The last two Olympics.
Yeah, that's like the Confederacy of like Russian athletes.
Yeah.
But it's not Russia.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
But I didn't see when I look at the Olympic seating, I was like, "Where's ROC?" And ROC's not there. I was like, "Oh, interesting." So.
Yeah. I mean, Russia's being completely blackballed at this point from the Olympics.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. They have good boxing too.
I mean, we can get more into it during the hockey post, but just in general, if you have Russian hockey players that have nothing political and nothing to do with the war, I don't see why we should not let them compete.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. It's not really an American thing as much. Like, I don't think, because like we let them come here and play hockey.
Yeah.
In our professional leagues, and we pay to go see them, et cetera, and everything else. But like
IOC is just something different, right? Again,
there's political pressure from the rest of the world, and in the alliances that we have that are like, nah, we got to say fuck that country, whatever. But that's for a whole nother time. That's a whole nother thing. You're a Canadian, I'm American, we're cool. Sometimes, Until next week when we talk about hockey.
Yeah, and when we take your gold again.
But but the other thing that comes up around the same time as the NHL All-Star break is the NBA All-Star break. And so let's just jump right into it, because I was reading one of these questions and I was like, wow, interesting. Yes and no. Okay, so here's the question, guys. So I want to read this for everybody, because I know anybody who's an NBA fan probably already has an opinion and a half on this. Is load management officially hurting the NBA's regular season credibility? Yes and no. Yes and no. Obviously, if you're a fan and you're paying to go to a game, you want to see this team's superstar playing when you go. You don't want to hear that, oh, this guy, and everyone always uses LeBron as an example, but LeBron's been playing his butt off this season, so he's kind of a bad example. But right, you don't want to pay for tickets to go see LeBron and he's not there. Right, that's kind of the idea. I get it. But then you have guys like here's how they manage it. Here's how they manage it effectively. The teams that are doing it the best, they load manage in the game. like don't necessarily like not play guys, but like you can like sit Victor Wembanyama for like the whole second quarter. You know, let him breathe. Okay, you don't need to run the whole game. You can run for like half of it. You'll get in there. You're gonna get burned, but you don't gotta run. You know, that's what they've been doing. And like I don't know, I have been watching every NBA game this season like faithfully. I have not been watching Monday Night Football at all since the NBA came back. That was like the NBA has just been to me has been so good. So, and I'm a hater on everything, you know. So if it was bad, I'd be hating on it. So that's my opinion on it, at least. But you know,
NHL though is they did release though. We can look at it next week. They do have officially Team Canada, Chechnya, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Latvia, Slovakia, Sweden's. Yep, they got Switzerland's. All right, United States. But here's the one thing. That's okay. That's all the teams, right? They're there. But you notice I didn't say Italy, right? Like, because Italy has a team because they're the host country. Who the hell's playing for Italy?
I don't know. When you didn't say Italy, I was thinking to myself, why didn't he say Italy? But who the fuck, like, I can't think of an Italian hockey player. I'm sure there are some.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, where they get that roster from? But they have the complete roster except for the Italian roster. So they have it all up here now for next week. So we can really get into who's playing for what country.
Well, that's because all those other countries, their players come from the NHL. The Italians are just some Guidos.
They're just there because the host country are like, oh my God, this is going to be like 9-1, 12-1 games. Like, they're going to be insane.
Did you see the finished product of the arena?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, the NHL has said things like
very awful, very awful. It borders on unsafe.
Like, they were practicing on it and they fell into a hole, basically.
Yeah, like this, and this is like what like.
So yeah, NHL is really going to investigate this over the next. It's only the 14th, so we have a month to the Olympics, right? So like less than a month to the Olympics. They got to be ready. They have to be ready. And I think the NHL, like, I think I read somewhere where they said 2 weeks prior, like, if they feel like it's unsafe, they could pull. I don't know if they'll pull, but if it's unsafe for the NHL players, like, you're not going to put, and I'm not really picking on because of Canada or whatever, but like Connor McDavid goes out there and hurts himself on that ice, the NHL is going to go after the IOC because of how poorly this arena has been constructed. They've already lost 4 feet of ice already. Like when they did the measurements, I think it was like 4 feet difference in the size of the ice. That changed it. That's just not regulation because like no one plays on that. I get it to all play on the same ice and it'll be even because they're all playing on the same ice, but it's still a different ice that you've ever played in. It's smaller.
The rink size, yeah.
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 So it's going to change some players and how they perform on this ice.
I don't know, man. There's a lot to be talked about. You know, I'm pretty excited. Like, you know, I'm glad that we kind of like just scratched the surface on this. I am excited about this. You know, to have the 3 of you guys. So we're gonna have 3. So as you guys know, Cove is a hockey guy. You know, he's Canadian. Obviously, he's a hockey guy. They all are, right? But we're going to have 2 American hockey guys on too next week also. So it'll be a good time. Very excited to hear them all passionately discuss what's going on with the Olympic hockey and the NHL. And you just got a little preview there from my guy Cove. I'm stopping him short because he's ready to tear up about it. I know it. I can already tell he's looking.
Oh no! I was just laughing because Ottawa is beating the Rangers 7-4 right now.
Dude, some of these scores have been outlandish this season. There have been some really, really, really high scoring games. Hockey's gotten out of control. They're scoring a lot. I like it. It's fast. It's aggressive. It's been a fun season this season for sure.
Okay, but just real quick, the Rangers, and I know you're not the Ranger fan, but the Rangers got beat 10-2 by Boston just days ago, and then they just got beat 8-4 by Ottawa in days coming.
That's bad, you know.
Yeah. How is Igor giving up 18 goals in 2 games? Like,
Well,
come on
I
now.
don't know, but they're in last place in the Metropolitan. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're one of the only teams with, or they might be the only team in the East with less wins than losses.
Yeah.
The only team. They have 20 wins to 21 losses. They're the only team with that many wins. Yo, that's really bad. It's really it's the Rangers just fell apart quick. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I don't know how that happened. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know how it happened. Crazy. I thought they looked good for the first couple weeks. So I don't know. You know, what do you think's going on there?
I couldn't tell you. I just some things are like that I look at very thoroughly, but sometimes I'm like, just don't know.
All right. Well, you've got till next week to figure it out. All right.
But they do have. But the ad for that is when we go next week to talk about this. They actually have the full coverage of the Olympics. Like you can go through NHL, you can go right in. We can see like who's playing who right away, like everything. The schedule's out.
Before we get out of here, though, I just wanted to kind of just real quick, a growing gap. So I'm going to ask you this question because obviously you're going to be ready to answer it. Is this MLB offseason? So just like with the moves that have been made so far, everything from ticket prices going up to the deals that ownership is looking to or to not make to bring in stars to their organizations when they have no salary cap, just to be said. Is it exposing a bigger gap than we knew was there between ownership and the fans?
Oh yeah, 100%.
What do they just not care anymore? Like what's going on?
No,
you know, I think the big one is St. Louis is the one that highlighted it for me. Like they're raising prices on their tickets. They're not trying to bring stars into that organization. Like what's going on? Like they're like a marquee baseball organization.
Okay.
You know, they're one of like the crown jewel organizations.
I can give you multiple: the Miami Marlins, the Milwaukee Brewers, St. Louis Cardinals. There's Pittsburgh Pirates. These guys have the Sacramento A's. These guys have like a budget of like 30 to 40 million max. That's it. Well, Toronto is spending 300 million.
Well, yeah, okay, but so here's what I'm saying,
massive
right?
reach.
This is being decided by ownership, right? Who we know to be billionaires, right?
Yeah.
Or large holding groups that have lots of money.
But within the question is like
why are they checking it?
They did, and it had a strike, and it was supposed to fix it, and there's now a luxury tax. If you're willing to pay the luxury tax after you take the hits, they don't care, because apparently that's what it's supposed to do. Is if they have to pay $100 million in luxury tax, what that does goes back to the MLB, and MLB distributes it to teams that cannot afford it. Apparently, that's where it's supposed to work, but it never works out that way.
I don't know, man.
NHL has the same kind of concept because that's where. Have you never tried to figure out where the Arizona Coyotes were able to stay afloat for like 15 years on a negative? Is because everybody's luxury tax when they paid over the cap salary. The same thing with that because the NHL has a similar one where it's like they took all that luxury tax and they paid for Arizona to play for years because they had it. It's there to help teams that are struggling, but these teams aren't struggling. But so say like Pittsburgh goes tits up and they're about to move, you'll find the MLB will have all this ton of money, and then they'll go, oh well, we'll help the Pirates stay. Here you go. Here's the money you need.
So
They'll help who
would
they
you
want to help.
say like like if are the teams turning around? Like are the ownership turning around and using the team's own analytics against them
Yep.
as a reason to not spend?
Yep.
Like they're
100%.
basically like, well, listen, like this is what you're doing. Like, what are we going to spend on? Like, you're not performing. Like,
Okay, I'll give you a look at Sacramento
oh, by the
A's.
way, you stink. We're not going to spend on you. Here are the
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
Like what?
But look
what?
at this. Look at the Sacramento A's. They didn't do too bad this season. They weren't amazing, but
I'm
the
quite
teams.
optimistic about them actually.
Yeah, they're up and coming. And guess what? Is the money being spent? No. They're just waiting for them to go to Las Vegas, and Las Vegas can be spend on that budget.
I know. Hopefully, Las Vegas is going to be ready to go and get crazy, and make sure that they spend whatever they need.
I wouldn't be surprised if once they go to Vegas and the Vegas ownership gets a handle of the Sacramento A's, they're going to be like, we're going to add 150 million to our budget. They're going to just add a ton of money because the cap will be where it's at. Vegas will spend it, and all of a sudden the Sacramento A's will become the Vegas A's or Las Vegas A's because we know about that trademark bullshit. And whatever they become, and then I think that organization will get better because they're probably gonna double their salary cap of what they're gonna
Dude, it'd
spend.
be
They'll
so
be able-
cool.
and then they'll be able to bring in players.
Oh, if they're awesome in the next few years, it'd be so good. It'd be so good for baseball, in my opinion. If the athletics organization is awesome at baseball again, I don't care what city it's in, but if it's in Las Vegas, it's going to be sick.
Well,
I'm so good.
I already know if you guys are in Vegas when they come in and they got the Yankees. I know you're getting tickets.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
You're telling me you're not going to see Judge play Las Vegas? If you
listen,
understand.
I'm going to come back here. I would say, though, I think either way, like just for these kind of things, like.
Yeah. No, I'm saying if you were still in Vegas by the time they get there, like you probably would. You probably go
Oh,
see
yeah.
the
No,
Denver
I'm out of here for sure.
Yeah.
We can talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that off screen, but
Yeah.
yeah, things are we're going well. We're going well for sure. So we'll talk about that. All right, you know what? Anyway, it's that time of night. It's like 7:20. It's pretty late, Probably got to put my daughter to bed, something like that. It's been fun. Guys, thanks for tuning in on Vinny's Corner. Cove, are you on tomorrow night? What you got going on?
Yeah. We'll be back tomorrow night discussing more about probably more of the other sports than football per se, but we'll touch on
baseball focus.
Yeah, we're always baseball focused, but we'll throw some NHL in there. We'll throw some basketball in there. Like, I mean, I run it differently. Like, it's more or less like if you're there, I can run I can run certain ways because your knowledge, and if I have Travis there, I can ask him certain things because it's his knowledge. So I kind of direct it towards who's coming.
That makes sense. And
then if Thomas comes, then I got something for everybody. I try to include everybody with something like pick your brain, pick Travis's brain, pick Thomas's brain.
Oh, you're very wise. See, he's the smarts on the team. We just know sports, the rest of us. Yeah. Very wise guy, this guy Cove. Very wise. All right. Well, listen. Thank you guys for tuning in this week to Vinny's Corner. We'll be up on Spotify by tomorrow, and we'll be back next week to talk more NFL amongst other things. You guys have a wonderful evening, and thanks for tuning in to Vinny's Corner.